gave up a wonderful career and a job that I loved very much, but it just wasn't fulfilling.
But you took the leap and went all in on your own
I
thing, right?
started off slow though. I
Yeah.
did. I was doing my full-time job while getting the business started. My grandpa was my inspiration. He lived to 99. I think that's when I fell in love with that ability to age in place. I was a single mom of four kids for about 19 years. But at the end of it, here I am, as a COO and co-founder of my own company. The message I wanted to share was that just never give up. No matter what life throws at you, it's an opportunity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm here with Malia Freund, and she is the COO and founder of A Precious Elder. Welcome, Malia. I'm so happy to have you.
Stephanie, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Do you want to share with us a little bit, since I introduced you as the CEO of A Precious Elder? What is A Precious Elder?
A Precious Elder is my home care agency. It's a family owned and operated. We're in Los Angeles, California. Started the business about 3 years ago with my son. And what we do is we are a non-medical home care agency, and we help seniors live safely and independently in the comfort of their own home. And we
Oh,
help them with the activities of daily living that they can no longer do on their own, but they prefer to age in place at home. So we help them with those activities.
wow, what an amazing service. Honestly, I think that's one of the best things. I remember my grandpa when he was being cared for, and did not want to go to a home. He refused. So my mom had four sisters, and so all five of them like took a shift and just gave him 24-hour care. When it came to the point where he couldn't, spend the night by himself. But what a beautiful thing, if you don't have
Yeah.
five daughters.
Well, that's what happened. My grandpa was my inspiration. He lived to 99 at
Wow.
home. And my uncle had him in an assisted living and he hated it.
Yeah.
He wanted to come home. So that was my first exposure to it. And I think that's when I fell in love with that ability to age in place. I think they have a statistic about 70% of seniors do prefer to age in place.
Yeah, I can understand that, right? I think people just want to be where they're comfortable. They want to be
Right.
at home if they can. I mean, obviously there's extenuating circumstances where they can't stay in the home for usually medical reasons, right? Well, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So your grandpa aging at home is kind of what started the business?
That was part of it. I think that was my first exposure to it. And I just thought, wow, how fortunate he was to have the ability to do that. And it was always kind of a soft spot in my heart, that industry and really the need for it. As I got older and I saw my friends' parents getting older, unfortunately, I lost both my parents. They were fairly young, so I didn't go through that with my own parents, only my grandpa pretty much. But the aging process. And I think it always was kind of in the back of my mind, but I always had a very corporate career in aviation and finance. So it was nothing even related to what I do now.
Wow.
So that's the big question I get sometimes is how did you get into this? And I think seriously, it was just a calling. It really
Yeah.
was. I gave up a wonderful career and a job that I loved very much, but it just wasn't fulfilling the calling that I had inside to help more people.
Wow, I love that. Especially when you're able to actually answer the call. There's a lot of people who do what they're really passionate about on the side, evenings, weekends, or whatever. It's like a side business doing the passion thing and then the security of having like a full-time job or something like that. But you took the leap and went all in on your own
I
thing, right?
started off slow though. I
Yeah.
did. I was doing my full-time job while getting the business started, kind of getting my feet in the water. Like, can I really do this? Because I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing. Do I want to do this? And I think just when I had those special moments of just really helping people and seeing the look on their face or the comment from the family. And actually, one of my first clients was a very good friend of my brother's, his parents. And the son said to me when I was leaving one day, he said, "Thank you so much, Malia. You're doing God's work." I was
Mm.
like, "Oh, okay, there you go." What I'm supposed to do.
That's amazing, though. I mean, that must be so good to hear, right? Is when somebody actually recognizes that coming through you and
Oh,
bringing
yeah,
that out into the world.
that
Yeah,
was it.
that's perfect. I love it. So, how long have you been operating this?
So we started a little bit over 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I quit my full-time job just last March. So
Congratulations. I know
Literally
that's a
about
big
four or
step.
5 months. Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
scary, but I haven't regretted it. And you always hear that people say, "Oh, I should have done it so much sooner," but
Yes.
when you're ready, you
Oh
know.
yeah, you got to be ready. And I feel like sometimes, when people try to do it and they're not ready, and then they let the fear take over. Fear takes over and it kind of ruins the what they had intended to do. So you do have to wait until you're ready, I think. And nobody can tell you when that is. I think only you.
Exactly. True. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for the people listening to this, obviously if they're in the LA area, that's an in-person service in the LA area?
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And how would they best get in touch with you if they were interested in that?
Just to go to our website, it's apreciousElder.com. You
Okay.
can read all about our services and myself and my son, who's my business partner, and kind of what motivated us and how the process works. And yeah, please reach out if you know anybody that needs a little extra help. And one thing I always like to emphasize as well is I told you my grandpa was
Mhm.
uh, my inspiring spirit, and he was a veteran. So I'm a huge advocate for our veterans. I am aligned with the VA, the Veterans Administration. So what that means is basically anyone that was a veteran and served during a wartime for the U.S., they are entitled to care by my company, which is paid for by the government. So
Oh, good to
I
know
try,
that.
yes, I make a big effort in trying to get out there and educate the community on these
Right.
benefits. Many people don't know. And so almost anybody I meet that's in their late 80s or 90s has served in a war for the US. And so almost every single one of them is entitled to this benefit. So
Wow.
I make a huge effort in educating the community on that as well.
Okay, well, we'll make sure to include that information below this video too, and your links as well, so that people know that we'll include that in the description so people understand the benefits that they have available to them in your area. That's amazing. So we met a few months ago, just I think April, right?
Yes,
April, we
yes.
met when I came to LA for a CEO day. We were in a similar program. Um, and so it's really interesting because when I met you, I heard you talk and I was like, wow, you're doing amazing things. You're building this amazing company and with your son too. I think that's very interesting working with, I'd love to do that at some point, work with one of
Yes.
my kids. I mean, I kind of do in a way, I guess. My daughter works for one of my businesses.
Oh,
As a practitioner. So we do
that's
work together, but we're not partners. So in a sense. But I was really excited to hear. And actually, at the time that I met you, I didn't know that you were a co-author in this book. So
wonderful.
this is even more fascinating to me. So I want to show you the book that she's in. So it's called My Manifested Life. It just came out with Kathleen Cameron and amazing other authors, some of which I got to meet in person. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on your experience in becoming an author.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was fascinating. It really was. It was something that I had thought about doing for over a decade. I wanted to write a book. And when I joined Kathleen's group, one of the first events I went to was in Toronto. And she had made an announcement at the event that she was looking for some of her students to co-author this book about my manifested life. And I immediately knew, oh, that's me because I've been wanting to do this for 10 years.
Right.
I'm going to be in that book. And then, it happened and we had wonderful coaching from um, Deepika and her team. And it was just amazing, an amazing experience. The other ladies in the book as well, all amazing people and amazing stories. And then I think, we got to go to Times Square, or we had a billboard in Times Square advertising the book and the
Yes.
release.
So
And
amazing.
I did that with my daughter. So my daughter went with me on that one. And yeah, it was truly surreal. I mean, it really is an amazing experience and feeling very vulnerable at the same time because you're really putting your life in on pages for people to read. But my goal in doing that was in hopes that sharing my story. I was a single mom of 4 kids for about 19 years, so
Wow.
pretty much raised them all as a single mom and struggled,
Hmm.
financially, emotionally, and all those other things that go along with it. But at the end of it, here I am, as a COO and co-founder of my own company, doing very well. So I think the message I wanted to share was that just, never give up. Just no matter what life throws at you, it's an opportunity. And there was a book I had read a long time ago, Life Challenges Are Your Opportunities. And I took that to heart, and I really realized that when something comes up you're not prepared for, it's just leading you to the next best thing. And
Yeah.
so I'm living a proof of that, and I'm hoping that sharing my story can help inspire or encourage other people to never give up on your dreams, keep going forward, and it will happen.
Yes, I love that. I really feel like that reminded me of another book, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. And she always talks about those lessons, right? And like, so how are you going to like leaning into the thing that you maybe weren't expecting to happen or have happen and leaning into it and like what is it here to show you and here to teach you and just going through it completely from that lens versus, oh, poor me or whatever else we might do.
Absolutely. And so I think that was the best part of the whole experience, really, was putting all of those emotions and thoughts on paper and releasing, because
Hmm.
that was really important for me too, to release all that negativity that had transpired over many years. And I think that just, yeah, it's almost like a deep breath. I can breathe now because I've let that go. And that's all in the
Yeah.
past now. I'm just moving forward. But I'm grateful for all of the experiences that led me to the person I am today and the life I live today. And none of that would have been possible without going through that whole journey. So
Right.
that's
Yeah, it's almost impossible to have regret, right? Because how would you be different or how would your life be completely like it could be completely different having changed any one of those experiences, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, grateful for all of it. And
Yeah.
I don't think you really realize that until you get to that point where you truly are happy and you're living your best life, because then you're able to reflect back and realize all of those valuable lessons that you had to go through to get to be the person that you are.
Yes, I love that. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like to co-author a book versus like I know you haven't written your own like solo book, so there's no comparison there, but what was it like to work with this group of ladies to create this book?
It actually is the best way to start. I did actually start to draft my own book about 10 years ago, and
Mhm.
I released, I have no experience, but I was drafting and, taking some classes and trying to learn. But this was such a great experience co-authoring with the other ladies because, number one, you don't feel alone, and you have more structure, and yeah, for me, I was inspired by listening
Yeah,
to them, their stories, and what they were going to write about. It really gave me a whole different direction that I went on versus what I first thought I was going to write about. And so I loved co-authoring, and I loved the collaborative environment of all these ladies and being able to share our thoughts on what we were going to write about. It
right.
made the whole experience so much more rewarding than just getting out there and doing it on my own the first time.
Yeah, I suppose that is a bit of a lonely journey, right? I mean, you're offering everything up to an editor and your publisher, and you're kind of like, okay, here it all is, but you're really alone in it in the process, right?
I think that it was a better experience for me because I think I would have gone a completely different direction on my book.
Yeah.
But by having that collaborative and supportive group around me, I feel that, yes, the hard work was doing it on my own after we did all the initial meetings, but it really did give me more clarity on what I truly wanted to write about, the message I wanted to share. So that was
Mhm.
really, really helpful.
Well, it must be tough too when you just have a chapter because you probably have so much to say and to just like kind of fit that in one chapter, right? Did you have a certain amount of pages you were allowed or a certain amount of words?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
that
that
must have been interesting to get that all in there,
Yeah, it definitely was because, like I said, I had started my own book draft, and
right?
so to consolidate what I already had, which was like 10 chapters already, into one chapter. It really was a whole completely rewrite, and it
Right.
and it was really difficult to really get your story across in so many words, over a span of my life. And some of the authors chose to write on, specific areas of their life or something, an event. But for me, my experience was my whole life. And so to try to consolidate that into one chapter was very challenging, but it worked. So I think it came out pretty well. My
Yeah.
kids were all very touched by it. And that was the most important thing for me, is
Oh,
their
that's
feedback and
lovely.
what they thought.
Yeah.
And pretty much all of them came to tears. So
Oh,
I think in a good way.
yeah.
And um, I think that was the most rewarding part of the whole experience for me.
Yeah, I love that. That honestly, so your advice then for somebody who is thinking of writing a book would be if you can hop into a co-authoring situation just to kind of get
If
that experience.
Yeah, I think if you're new to it and you're not really sure if this is something you really want to do, because again, I was on the fence for 10 years. So I think for me, it was a good jump start to get into it and understand what does it really look like to write a book.
Yeah.
Having the experience of writing a chapter really gives you an idea if you would want to continue and write a whole book
Yeah.
after that. So it was a good testing of the waters.
Mm. Well, you seem like quite a modest person, but I don't want to forget to mention that this book has hit several bestseller lists. How does that feel, becoming not only an author, but a best-selling author?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even know that, Stephanie. So
Really? What?
yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, it's all over. I think I'm gonna mess it up, so I won't say, but I think originally it was Amazon um in Canada and then went US bestseller and then yeah, I'm
I
not sure all the platforms where it went bestseller, but it definitely is a best-selling book now.
That's awesome. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
Which
I've
makes
been,
you a best-selling author.
that's so awesome. I didn't even know that.
So, Malia Freud, best-selling author.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you can definitely put that as part of your title as well.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know.
Well, congratulations on that. It must be an amazing feeling, even though you're just learning that now. But
No,
yeah,
I was surprised. I haven't really received any updates from the group. So unless I missed it, I might have missed it because I just got back from a 2 week
right.
vacation. So that
Yeah,
happened in almost 2 weeks. That might be why.
yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to ask about Soul Sparks Press as well, and just let everybody know who Deepika is, because her story is quite. She came on to an event and shared a little tiny bit. But what was it like working with her at Soul Sparks Press?
She's amazing. I think just I first was introduced to her, I believe it was one of Kathleen's podcasts, and watching her and listening to her story and her book. It was just very inspirational. She also was, from a corporate career, decided to follow her passion. And I think that's what happens when you follow your passion. You just become hugely successful and you're good at what you do because you're
Yeah.
following what it is you love to do. So she was just amazing to work with, so inspiring and positive and uplifting. Every call we had, just her smiling face and her wonderful charm. So it was a treat to work with her. Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. Look forward. I'm seriously considering,
Yeah, great.
writing something. I'm not sure
Oh
in what
wow.
capacity yet. They have opened up for volume two. I think it's still open, but I'm most
Awesome.
slightly on the fence.
That's
Not on the fence because I wouldn't want to be part of it. I would. It's just more so I feel like I have a whole story, a whole book essentially. So I'm kind of like, which one should I do?
I
But yeah, what
understand.
an amazing experience to have. I think that's fantastic. So, is there anything else that you're working on or anything else you'd want to share with us about your life or the journey that you've had?
I don't know what I'm doing next. And one of my very good friends always laughs at me like, "Oh yeah, you're going to come up with something else to do." Because I do, I do tend to jump around.
Yeah.
But I also love this business, and I think that this could be, really a legacy business for my family. And like I said, my business partner is my son, but I have 4 children, and a couple of them are interested in joining the business too.
Mm,
My father was Hawaiian, so I have a lot of family in Hawaii, and I'm looking to expand the business from California to Hawaii and grow the business. And then, who knows what the next adventure will be, but I'm always looking.
yeah.
Uh, and I love traveling. I'd love to get back into traveling as well and continue to spend time with my husband and get out there and continue to
Yeah.
travel as well.
Yeah, we'll have to chat because I feel like there's something we're supposed to talk about something you're going to do. I don't know. It was just like an intuitive hit before
Oh,
we hit record where I was like, I think we need to chat. Let's have
see,
a
I'm
talk.
always open. Always
Um,
open.
yeah, I think it's really like obviously the work, and then you probably don't even know. We haven't really had a chance to get to know each other, but what I do is help people to do kind of exactly what you did, right? Is take something you're passionate about and turn it into a business. Typically just an online business though. So not an in-person service business, although I've done that as well. Help people
Oh,
with that because I do have an in-person service business too, but my passion is the online space. So I
oh,
absolutely love being able to help people reach a wider audience, be able to reach and inspire people all over the world. I think it's just a fascinating thing, which, and being part of Kathleen Cameron's community, obviously you can see how she does that all of the time, right? And it's very inspiring. And I just think there's so many people, she's right. She says all the time about any one of us, we all attract different people to us. And the more of us out there that there are doing this kind of work and lifting people up and inspiring them in whatever way you're meant to do that. And so I just want to be a part of that and getting people, out into the world so people can experience them. So that's what
I
we do
love
at Freedom Culture. It's so much fun.
that.
And yeah, I think like it's always interesting when I talk to people who have various kinds of businesses. My mind I just have ideas like crazy. I
That's
can't help it.
wonderful.
But
That's a gift. That's a gift. I love it.
yeah, I do. I love that so much. And even I talk to a lot of people who aren't sure, right? They're not sure about what they're passionate about, or so we just work on like, okay, so what do you love? And I start to uncover those things that we often just set aside, in childhood or adolescence or even in our early 20s, right? We go in the direction of corporate this or that, or, where we felt like we could get a job. We did that because we want to have security. But we often leave pieces of ourselves behind and we want to just go back and pick them up and take them with us going forward a bit.
Love-
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on here. Like I said to you all, if you are interested in learning more about Malia and the amazing work she's doing, the book, I will make sure all of the links are below this video. Please pick up that book. It is an amazing read this far. I'm not through it. I'm embarrassed to say. I haven't read the whole thing yet. I'm about halfway through. So I'm getting there, but such great stories. I usually pick it up actually when I feel like I need a little like hit of inspiration. So I've kind of been saving it to give me like a chapter here and there everywhere throughout my, you know,
Then you can kind of digest each
yeah,
chapter.
I don't want to like speed through it and not honor everyone's stories. I think that they're all like just amazing, right? So I'll put those links below. Any final words before we say goodbye?
No, Stephanie, thank you so much for having me. This was very fun. I enjoyed my time with you. It was great getting to know you a little better. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. So everyone, click the links below. Make sure you like and follow this video if you love these kinds of topics. We're always bringing you people who are inspiring and we want to share their story. So that's what we're here to do. So thank you so much. Bye for now, everyone.